Are we suggesting that we could like relegate the Carolina Panthers to the SEC and bring Alabama? Oh my God.
No, yeah, like you have. So you have a kind of a weird situation going on. You have the last game that is really going to be a Pac-12 game,
right?
At least in the foreseeable future. That happened just a couple nights ago. You now have Washington State and Oregon State really kind of just scheduling and some type of like scheduling agreement with the Mountain West, not completely affiliated with the Mountain West yet, from what I can tell. I mean, is it the best thing for them to go into the Mountain West? And then also, what happens with like the Group of Five versus the? Now you don't really even have a Power 5 anymore with the Pac-12 gone. So is there a need to reevaluate the conference strengths?
Yes.
Is there a need to evaluate, like, what needs to happen here, Mike? Let's just talk about the whole thing, the whole shebang.
Well, first of all, like, yeah, we need to understand what the hell is going on with Oregon State and Washington State, because they're like, you're not invited to the wedding sort of a thing, or rather they didn't want to be invited to the wedding, but they're still going to kind of attend and weirdly hang out in the corner over there, but then they're going to bounce, like,
well, and then also you're going from football perspective.
Yeah.
You're now no longer in an automatic bid conference. It's such a bad situation for them, because if they enter the Mountain West, which makes the most sense for them, right?
Yeah, it's the only.
They're no longer with like an automatic bid conference.
Yeah, but what's their other like the only other thing? They're like, oh, we still want to put the Pac-12 together. Well, basically, you're just like, well, let's pull the Mountain West in because we don't have any other teams.
See, that's the interesting part, and I think that's where the lawsuits are coming from. Is the fact that, let's say they say, all right, we're just going to pull the Mountain West in. We're going to rename the Mountain West and just call it the Pac-12 now, and they're going to have the same, like, let's say they could keep the same rights that they had before of being like a Power 5 conference.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Just call it the Mountain Pacific or something. I don't know.
Or just go back to the WAC.
Or the WAC, yeah. I don't know, man. Like, I don't see them having, like, for football, an option. They're kind of the odd teams out, so you might as well try and, like, latch onto the Mountain West and form something of it. For me, my point is, do these teams really belong in the same football subdivision anyway as what the Big Ten and the SEC have become? Like, I just feel like college football needs another subdivision at this point, because it's like, if we're going to make everything about money and we're going to make everything about business and stuff, the Mountain West doesn't belong in the same subdivision.
I'm totally with you on this. Or they need to do a relegation system or something to that effect.
Yeah.
Right? Because, just like you were saying, how can you compete? How can teams like, I don't know, even Boise State or San Diego State or any of those teams outside of like non-football, we're not even talking about any of the other sports, because I think they can do it for like basketball and other sports, but for football specifically, there needs to be a reevaluation totally, because it is not at the same level, and also the boosters are way different. You have this way large, like, certain dynamic that is happening in SEC, ACC, and other schools like that, or even Big 10 or Big 12. It's just wild, and I'm absolutely on board with you. You know, honestly, Mike, now that we're on that topic, I totally think what needs to happen is there needs to be an affiliation between schools, conferences, and NFL teams. It's almost like a minor league system where it's a direct feeder, or you have like rights to like getting into the like.
Are we suggesting that we could like relegate the Carolina Panthers to the SEC and bring Alabama? Oh my God.
No, yeah, like you have kind of like the right of first refusal on players or something like that in the draft. Come on, wouldn't that be great? I mean, it would be great. We have right now.
Now, Ole Miss is playing the Carolina Panthers this week, and we got Alabama going up against the Chiefs. It's going to be a good.
No, but I'm just meaning more from like the NFL draft perspective.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from.
And that's a wild like hot take, and I'm just saying there needs to be a reevaluation. I'm totally on board with you.
Yeah.
As for Washington State and Oregon State, hey, let's figure it out, guys.